Here we go. Timekeepers ready, judges ready, competitors go. So we got Callum Shaw from Scotland. Anybody from Scotland in the house today? No, they're all at home making hay, ladies and gentlemen. Ken French from Australia. Ken French from stand 3. Yeah. We got Sweely Wheelie Hands from South Africa. We got Brian Thompson from New Zealand. Oh, there's a few Kiwis. So Callum Shaw, the Scotsman, you've just seen him shearing in that semi-final of the Open. Now he's up there with the old blade shearers. He's got rid of that machine. He's turned off the electric. And up the neck he steps, while Callum Shaw's up the neck steps Wheelie Hands. Ken French from Australia, he comes second in the 2013 National. He was so pleased to come second, and then they told him he'll now represent in Australia and the World Championships at Gorey. Boy, he was pleased, ladies and gentlemen, about that. Wheelie Hands, the South African current world champion there. Brian Thompson from New Zealand. He's made world finals. I think he was third up there in the Royal Welsh. So Brian Thompson, he's a quality shearer there from New Zealand. He'll keep the job right. I can show you that. They got to have a nice even finish out the back. So same thing applies. The judges on the boards are looking for any second cuts. Any second cuts, that's when they cut open the wool, cut the wool about halfway up the staple and damage the wool. We don't want to do that. And then when they cut it again, that's a penalty point. Look at Swahili Hands, drops her down into the long blows. He is a keen competitor. Look at him go. When they were over in the World Championship, the Royal Welsh, he would give you his blades, but they will not give you the sharpening stone. That is the thing that is most desirable to them boys, to get them blades nice and sharp and get the cut right for this World Championships here in Gorey. Brian Thompson, he's got the quality. He's bringing it back with a pace as well. Callum Shaw goes into that first front shoulder. But already, look at him go. Swahili Hands from South Africa. But look at Brian Thompson. He's sticking with him every blow. Your man, your New Zealander on stand 5. Round 2 of this World Blade Shearing Competition sponsored by Wexford County Council. Swahili Hands brings up that neck, gets it a little bit more relaxed. Brian Thompson's working hard and he's keeping the job right as well. Callum Shaw's into the long blow. Ken French. Come on, Ken. Tremendous shearer there on stand number 3. But already, look at Swahili Wheelie Hands. Out the hind leg he goes. Brian Thompson sticking with him there, though. Brian's not letting him get away there. So give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen. Swahili Hands goes in for sheep number 2.
Sheep 2 it is for the South African. Back out onto the board. Sits it down on its rump, and he's going to work his way into the first hind leg. Brian Thompson, Ken French, Callum Shaw, all working down the last side. Callum Shaw, Ken French, Australia and Scotland, blow for blow as they come out onto that last front leg. Brian Thompson, the Kiwi, right out onto the hind leg of his sheep. Sheep number 1 it is. Not long now, that'll be up in amongst his mates, way back to the farm, and he'll be in for sheep number 2. Zwelawilly Hands from South Africa, the current world blade shearing champion. Way you go, Brian. Come on, mate. Stick with him. Good quality shearer, Brian Thompson. Hallmark of his at home. All the competitions always has very, very good scores. Zwelawilly Hands winds his way up the neck and then around behind the head into the first front shoulder. Absolutely fantastic blade shearer, this man. Right into the front shoulder. Yeah, that's what I reckon. Zwelawilly Hands from South Africa. Ken French from Australia, right out onto the back leg. Callum Shaw from Scotland, right out onto the back leg for him as well. Callum Shaw just holds the wool away, chops under it. How is it going to be? The Scottish or the Aussie? It's the Scotland competitor into the pen. He goes, Callum Shaw. We just seen him shearing in the semis of the Open All Nations machine shearing. Here he is in the team's event for the blade shearing. Out goes Ken French for Australia. Into the bucket with the blades, into the pen for another sheep, and out he backs again. A never-ending routine that works for 8 hours of every day in most countries. Zwelawilly Hands chops up The long blow turns for home, takes the cheek off, works his way right down onto the last front shoulder. Fantastic quality job these South African shearers do. That's why they're the best in the world, folks. So the sheep, when they have finished, they go down the chute into a pen where they're held and judged. The judge is just looking for wool left on. I just want a nice even cover over the sheep. If it's not, they get penalised. They get points taken off, or added on rather. They get points added on. So the quality of the work is very, very important. The time is only part of it all. But Zwella Willie Hands, he's very capable of combining all three sets of scores to a very low total. Brian Thompson, down over the last front shoulder he comes. He'll be keeping his job right as well. He knows what it takes to get into these big finals. He's done it before. Right out onto the hind leg, though, Zwella Willie Hands from South Africa. Another couple of shots and out the hole it'll go. He'll be in for sheep. Number 3, where are you South Africans now? Ooh, hold the phone.
Yeah, great shearing there from the Willie Hands. The South African, he's got number 3 on the board. Fantastic blade shearer is this boy, 4 times world champion. Brian Thompson, down the last side he comes there. He's on stand number 5. He's doing a lovely work there on stand number 5, the New Zealand boy. Keeping that blade nice and even, keep the job even. That's what it's all about. That's what the judges will be looking for out the back. Ken French. Anybody here supporting Ken French, ladies and gentlemen? Come on, Ken French. He's on long blow time, the Australian boy.
Oliver Daly, please, to the registration table. Oliver Daly.
So Ken French already on long blow time. He turns for home. But in goes Brian Thompson. He got it in New Zealand supporters here, ladies and gentlemen. Down the last side comes Ken French. He's got number 2 on the board. Out comes Brian Thompson with a big, big hug this time. Put number 3 on the board. Callum Shaw, the Scottish boy, he has 2 on the board. His dad said, I taught him all he knows, he said. But he said, I didn't teach him all I know. Not yet anyway, he said. So we got Callum Shaw turning for home on stand number 2 there. Fantastic shearer there, young Callum Shaw. Shearing with the machine as well. Good open shearer there as well. He's only 22 years of age. So Ken French down the last side. He's keeping that job nice and even as he steps back. Let's up the head there on those big hugs. So Willie Hands, the South African. He's pumping in the blows there, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give him a little shout on here, the South African boy. And we got Brian Thompson. Round the back of the head goes the Kiwi. He making a lovely job there on this Suffolk hug. These are good quality shearing sheep. There's a lot of work in them, but at least you can cut the wool there with those big blades. These blades are like lances, ladies and gentlemen. Down the back of the head goes Brian Thompson as he cleans off that first shoulder, making a lovely job there with number 3 on the board. So Willie Hands, he hopes to make that big final as well. Later on, he's 4 times world champion. He's current champion for another couple of days anyway. Watch this man move, ladies and gentlemen. Down the last side of the way he goes there. You think this man is plugged in, ladies and gentlemen. He's loving those sheep. There's a good white wall on this one. Down goes Ken French. Come on, cheer on Ken French, ladies and gentlemen. As he goes in for sheep number 3, round 2 of the Worlds. He's absolutely flying. There is Ken French, the Australian boy. And what about Callum Shaw? Have we got any Scottish supporters here? He needs your help up here now. Come on, get him up there with the rest of those boys. As he goes out the last side there on stand number 2. Pumping in the blows there. He's beginning to redden up there in the face, ladies and gentlemen. That means he's going well. So we've got Ken French as he turns. And what about some Willie Hands? Come on, cheer this boy out down that porthole as he goes in with his 3rd and final sheep. That's the Willie Hands. Let's hear it. Bring the house down for the South African boy on stand number 3. Steve, this is going well.
Oh, good day. Top qualifier in that open blades. We need Rebecca Connick, Eileen O'Connell, and Bowie Williams. I think Bowie Williams from Wales, or Miss Williams. We need them for the ladies' championships. Can you book in, please? Rebecca Connick, Eileen O'Connell, and somebody called B-E-W-I Williams. I don't know if that's the name. Miss Williams, we need you to book in. So Brian Thompson, the New Zealander, keeping the quality there. Ken French there into the first front shoulder. So Brian Thompson, as I said, made the world final, was 3rd in 2010. He was 4th in 2012, but he hopes he'll go the other way in 2014. and get into that world final and get first. And you love that, I tell ya. So Brian there now putting the finishing touches, keeping the quality. Look at that job. It's looked like it's been done by a machine. Well, he is a machine, is Brian Thompson, but he's doing it with the hand shears. Out the hind leg he goes. Look at him chomping away there. You just count the times that he squeezes. Out he goes, ladies and gentlemen. Give him a big hand, Brian Thompson. He's had a good shear there as Brian on stand number 5. So we've just got the Ken French from Australia. What's your favourite colour? Blue? What's your favourite city? Sydney? So Ken French around the front shoulder of his third and final sheep. Looks to be doing a quality job. The old tongue is coming out now. Every sinew's in that wrist, arm, elbow, shoulder, leg, head. His tongue is hurting at the moment as he comes down the last side. But he's doing a good job. Where's your Australians? You need to give him. Yeah, come on, Ken. Go, Ken, go. Out the hind leg he goes. Down that last side. Callum Shaw from Scotland. Come on, Callum. The baby face assassin. Frightening it off him. He's getting into that line long and he drop him down. But it's Ken French there. The Australian there now. Come on, Ken. Waltz that Matilda. That's what you got to do, because that's what the sheep is called, Matilda. And he's waltzing her there with these blades, ladies and gentlemen. Out the hind leg he goes, and a flick around the tail, and he'll be reaching for that red button. He's in red button time for Ken French from Australia. Give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Callum Shaw there, the Scottish boy with his third and final sheep on the board. He's making a lovely job of that sheep, ladies and gentlemen. Just because you're up there on your own doesn't mean that you're not going to make this final later on. There's good quality shearer is this young Scottish boy. He's only 22 years of age. He turns for home. Down the last side, big sweeping blows going in there from those blades. Those blades are like lances, ladies and gentlemen. They're absolutely as sharp as you can get. But he's making a great job there. His young Callum Shaw. He's been well taught by his dad earlier on. And since he was born, this boy has blades in his hands, ladies and gentlemen. He's not long using the blades on himself, but he's using them on the sheep before he used them on himself, ladies and gentlemen. So Callum Shaw, down the last side he goes, cleaning up that last shoulder. He's pumping in the blows there, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, give him a cheer on. He's up here on his own. Get behind the Scottish boy. It's not easy up here, but he's well used to shearing up there, so he is on stage. Out the flank and away he'll go there with his third and final sheep on the board. He's making a lovely job up there, is Callum Shaw. So next 6 shearers, get ready, you know who you are, while Callum Shaw comes down the last side. We're going on time, so we want to keep the show moving. We've got a lot of finals and semi-finals to do yet today. Callum Shaw, down the last side and away he goes there on stand number 3. Couple of flicks over the tail head. Watch this shine on those blades, ladies and gentlemen. You can see myself from here. They're shining, so they are, ladies and gentlemen. He must have the brasso out last night. Down the last side of the way he goes there. Couple of flicks over the tail head. Come on, cheer him on, ladies and gentlemen. He's here on his own. We need a bit of support up here. Couple of flicks over the tail head. Round 2 of the World Blades. Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Callum Shaw and for all those shearers in this heat. That was a good heat, Steve.
Yeah, good heat. Golden shears. Now we move on to round heat number 4. Mayan Zeki Shwani from South Africa. Famous Seamus Joyce from Ireland. Tony Dobbs from New Zealand. Elva Jackson from Wales. And John Dalla from Australia. Ooh. Give them a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, as they come onto the stage. Mayan Zeki Swayani from South Africa. Seamus Joyce from Ireland. Tony Dobbs from New Zealand. Elva Jackson from Wales. And John Dalla from Australia. Big John. Big John.